Hello and welcome to another episode of our JavaScript series. In the previous episode, we learned how to create and call JavaScript functions. In this episode, we are going to continue creating JavaScript functions, but this time around using what is called Karel the Robot. Karel takes a simple instructions and can be accessed via this URL, or you can simply Google Karel the Robot and click on the first search result. First, let's change the world to 5 by 5 here, like so. So we will select 5 by 5, and this is so that we have a better view of this robot and this window here. Now, here is the main function. So this is the main function. What you write inside this function will be carried out by the robot. Now, for instructions that this robot can take, you can go to reference here. If you just click here, top right corner, you will see here are those functions that the robot takes: move, turn left, put beeper, pick beeper, and so on. And there's also a lot of information regarding this robot. Even you have the program structure, condition, names, and so on. So right now our focus will be on the functions that the robot takes. Now let's put this robot to a test by giving it some instructions. First, inside the main function here, I'm going to make the robot move just once. So I'm going to do that by putting in move here like so, and then click run here. As you can see, the robot has moved once. Now, what if I want this robot to move 4 times? Okay, to move the robot 4 times, I'll just copy this function and paste it 3 times so that the robot is able to move 4 times like we want. Okay, let me just make sure everything is well indented here like so. Now I'm clicking run. Now as you can see, the robot has moved 4 times to this corner right here. Now, what else we can make? What we can also do is that we can make the robot to turn left. Let's say we want the robot to move 4 times and then turn left. So we'll just add 10 left here, like so. Those round brackets here, and then close this off with a semicolon, and then run the code. Now the robot has moved 4 times, and when it reached this spot here, what it did, it finally turned left. So if we want this robot to go up to the top right corner, so we can do that. So if we want this robot to go to the top right corner, I'm just going to copy these 4 moves and then paste them right here, and then click run. Now as you can see, the robot has moved 4 times. It turned left and then moved 4 times again to reach the top right corner of this window right here. But now, as you can see, the code is quite repetitive. We have move, 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 turn left, move, move, move. So the code is repetitive. Okay, so we can shorten the code by creating another function. So let's create another function. I'm going to create another function here. The aim is to avoid using repetitive code. So this function, I'm going to call it, let's just call it 4 moves, like so. Right, this is the name of the function. Those round brackets here, curly braces, like so. So we have those 4 moves. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut these 4 moves here, and then paste them inside the new function. And then I am going to delete these four moves here. Okay, so now I am going to call this new function inside the main function like so. So I'm going to say four moves. Okay, then remember I also deleted the four moves from below this 10 left function. I'm also going to replace this with the four moves function like so, round brackets, a semicolon to close the line of code. Now let's run this code and see what happens. Now I've just run this code and we get the same result. The robot moved four times, it turned left and moved four times to reach the top right corner. So we get the same result, but this time around we managed to get this result with a less repetitive code, and that we achieved by creating another function which we named the four moves right here. Now, if you go to reference here, you will see that you can also make the robot put a beeper. Okay, as you can see, you can put a beeper or pick a beeper. So I want us to put this put a beeper function to a test. Now let's go back to the main function. I'm just going to delete this function that we have created here. We are done with this one, and then I'm going to delete everything inside the main function. So I am going to put a beeper. I'm going to say put beeper like so, round brackets, and then a semicolon, and then let me also put in move, which means you're going to put a beeper and move. So the robot is going to put a beeper and move. So let's run this code. Now, as you can see, the the robot put a beeper and moved once. Okay, so this is what we are able to achieve using this put beeper function. So now, what if we want to put four beepers? Okay, we can do that. Let me just copy these two lines of code and paste them three times like so. Now let's run this code and see what happens. Now as you can see, the robot has put four beepers. I have a challenge for you. I want you to put the beepers diagonally, not all over the place, but just diagonally from here up to the top right corner. Okay, I want you to put the beepers over here from the bottom here where the robot started up to the top right corner. So please pause this video and try to complete this challenge. Okay, well done if you've completed this challenge successfully. If you didn't, let's do it together. Now, inside here, I'm just going to delete everything inside the main function. Okay, let me delete everything deleted. So we are going to move or make the beeper put these we are going to make the robot, I beg your pardon, put beepers diagonally from here up to the top right corner like so. The first function I'm going to include here is move like so, and then we are going to make the robot 10 left. Okay, 10 left. All right, let me put in here 10 left, and then and move again like so. Okay, and then put beeper, put a beeper, and then 10 right Okay, like so, turn right, like so. Now let's run the code and see what happens. So I'm clicking run. So the beeper, the robot has moved once and then turned left and then moved once and then put a beeper and then turned right. Okay, so to get this robot to the top right corner, we will have to repeat this move several times, that is 4 times. So let's just copy these lines of code like so, and then I'm going to paste these lines of code 3 times so that we have 4 moves. Now let's run this code and see what happens. Now as you can see, the robot has put beepers up to the top right corner diagonally. But as you can see, this is a very repetitive way of doing this. Okay, so again, we can lessen the repetitiveness of this code by creating another function. So we are going to create another function. Let me just scroll down here, create another function here. I'm going to say function, and then let me name this one diagonal, diagonal move, like so. A pair of round brackets, a pair of curly braces. Let me create a space in here, and then inside here, I am going to just copy a single move. Okay, from here, move, turn left, move, put beeper, turn right. Okay, I'm just going to copy this move and then paste it inside the new function here, like so. And then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go back to the main function and delete everything, all these lines of code. And then inside this function, I'm just going to call the diagonal move function, like so. Diagonal move. And then I'm going to call it how many times? 4 times, remember. So I'm just going to copy this move and then paste it 3 times so that we have 4 moves. Okay, now let's click run code. I think there's some syntax issue here. Let's see what happened. Okay, here I think I made a mistake here. This was supposed to be a curly brace. Okay, now let's run the code and see what happens. There we go. I've just run the code and uh the 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 robot has put 4 beepers diagonally, and this time around we managed to achieve this with a less repetitive code, and we achieve this by creating another function. And that brings us to the end of this episode. Please play around with this robot, try out new moves. It is a very effective way of learning about the functions I found. Thank you so much for watching once again, and bye for now.